Why hello there and welcome to another Dyrus video. Today I will be talking about multiple different things regarding solo queue, or rather dynamic queue, the tank meta when you don't have a mana pool and you can't build Corrupting Pot or Iceborne, and talking about a real life mistake I made a couple of days ago that I would want you guys to learn from too because I've made this mistake multiple times. Anyways, getting into the video, let's talk about solo queue, or rather dynamic queue. In dynamic queue, there's a whole bunch of shit going around Reddit and pro players' Twitters and basically everything. And long story short is high elo players like LCS pros even don't give any cares about dynamic queue. And the reason is because you get queued up into either a 5-man or the queue times are just insanely long. Here's an example of me playing on my Smurf that I leveled up. This is against a rank 1 player and a bunch of challengers from the season before, or master players from the season before. As you can see, these teams aren't exactly that balanced because the only player I got going for me on my team is Geronimo, and everyone else is kind of just, hello, hey, look at me, I'm in Diamond 1 and Diamond 2. Oh, what's that? That's a rank 1 challenger player? Don't worry, guys, we got this. But you kind of get the point. I mean, it wasn't really any of their faults, but what basically happened was even if we had a good early game, when mid game came around, the communication from their team and challenger movements was just way too much for our team, and it just did not become a fun game. The point of this is not to bash those challenger players or not to bash my teammates that couldn't keep up with it, but the point is that dynamic queue is just not a complete system right now, and it's probably going to take a lot of time to fix. Here's the way you abuse dynamic queue. If you're in Silver 1, grab some of your silver friends, make them demote to bronze 5, dynamic queue with them until you're in gold, get a bunch of your gold friends, have them demote to silver 5, dynamic queue with them to plat. You know where this is going. Basically, for me, if I was in diamond, or if I was in masters and I wanted to get challenger, I would get one of my challenger friends to go on a diamond 5 account and then dual queue with me so I can have easy games against Diamond 3 players and then just get into Masters or Challengers or whatever. It's a really easily abusable system, and you may see another good example of this where me, Cutie, and Dom were all playing together on a sometimes lowest accounts, but we still kind of have to carry. That's the more like a little bit more fair way because we're not 5-man, and even though we're in comms, we don't have like full control over the game, but it pretty much is the same team if we're like retired LCS pro. So I guess we're cheating too if you want to put it that way, but not to take away any credit from the current challenger players, but the system is just, it just needs some work. Please give me back solo queue or just lower the queue times for the love of God. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the tank meta. I won't talk too long about this, but this is what it basically is. You build Sunfire Cape, you build Iceborne Gauntlet, and you either build Maul of Mortemitis or Spirit Visage, and there you go. You're basically a tank. It could be on Jace, it can be on Echo. In fact, Echo is one of the most broken OPs for this meta right now because of how his kit works. But the top 3 tank champs right now, in my opinion, is Echo, Poppy, and Maokai. There are other champs like Nautilus and, whoever else, but those 3 seem to be the most dominant in my opinion, and experience from watching other people and being a copycat. As for manaless champs, if you want to build tank on manaless champs, you build Sunfire Cape, but unless it's like an AP champ, you probably want to build Spectrals or Maw into Hydra, and then you generally build up to HP damage such as Cleaver, Lifesteal such as BT, Death Stance, or even Sterix. That's the direction you go when you don't have mana, when you can't build Corrupting Pot, when you can't build Iceborne Gauntlet, and you don't have your mana pool to abuse. That's what you want to do. But it can be either or, depends what you really have fun with and what you find the most efficient, but that is my opinion. What tops it all off is Grasp of the Undying. You can basically run it on everyone going 12, 0, and 18 like you see in all of my streams, and it will probably work out. I mean, even more recently, I first blooded Keen as Jace, tank Jace versus Lulu, and he's like rank 8 right now, so there's no problem with the setup. If you fail, then you either got ganked or you messed up somewhere. That's what I always tell myself. That's mostly what I wanted to talk about for today. I just wanted to fill up the void since we don't really have any videos coming out, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about some things that concerned me and kind of bothered me a little bit. The last thing I want to talk about is I almost made a crucial mistake of doing something kind of drastic without understanding all of the information. It's kind of like when you do homework for a project and you don't study at all and you just write down all the answers because you think it's right. Well, a good example is back in the day, I thought Salsi was talking shit about me, and I didn't really ask him myself. I just went off some forum post or some random rumor, and without even confronting him, like I just assumed that he did something that I didn't like. And truth be told, he didn't say it at all, and I was just being an idiot by listening to other people without asking them myself. So the lesson to learn here is before you say things, make sure you get all of the details, because if you don't, you could end up making a pretty big mistake. And I ended up not making that mistake, but getting close to, because I was acting off of emotion and not logic and actual hard facts. It's just like when I was in middle school and I didn't have any reasons to go to school because I was feeling tired, depressed. It's like, why should I go to school? And after like 10 minutes of thinking it out logically, I decided, wow, I should just go to school so I can get it over with and I can go home and play some video games. Anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this. Just get the evidence before you do stuff. Just to end the video now, I'm going to be playing Galio for 8 hours because I got donated 800 bucks to play Galio. So it'd be kind of stupid not to play Galio and not to listen to that request. Of course, if it gets refunded, then well, fuck me, whatever. You guys get to see 8 hours of Galio. But as always, thanks for watching if you got this far. And I normally don't do this, but like I said in the last vlog, you guys have influence. When you like, I mean, you don't have to favor, but when you like the video and comment and say funny stuff, it makes me happy. Or don't. Just do whatever the fuck you want. If you hate me, just fucking downvote that shit. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.